Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of season 2. Oh my god, I've done it 2 weeks in a row. This is Yarnivore. That is Bebop. Bopicus. He's just gonna hang out. So, what do I have? Actually, it's been a good week for crafting. Mostly because I've been head is full of stuffiness. So, let's... Why do I care what he's doing? He's going to lay down there, isn't he? Yep. Yep, he is. Okay. Be entertained by Bebop peeking through the doorway. Alright. I don't know where to start. So we'll start at the start. I am wearing... I'm not sure if I ever showed this off on the podcast. I guess I'll stand up. I'm wearing pants, so it's all good. Okay. I am wearing... Hang naturally... If I back my chair up, I can actually do the whole little thing for you. I am wearing my vitamin C, which I believe is a Heidi Kermer pattern. I like that I can do that. Or I can just leave it like that. See, this is where it should fall. Because here is my jean line. So it's very flattering for me. There's the side, and there's the back. Do a whole little spin for you. Which is not as easy as it looks, because there's a bunch of stuff on the floor. I could lie to you and say this room is clean, but as you can see, it's not. It's very cluttery. It's the catch-all craft room, as they are known to be, and my mother is horrified, probably, because this is her room. But, so this is the Vitamin C by Heidi Kermer. I knit it out of handspun, which I spun. Handspun, which I spun. Like that. It was Briar Rose in a Polworth top. I had 14 ounces. Husband bought it for me as a gift at Shepherd's Harvest. I spun it into, I want to say it was a 3-ply. It's either a 2 or a 3. And I had a lot of it. I still have a smidgen of a ball left. I knit a hat for a friend, and I still have a smidgen of a ball left. And it looks great. I really love it. I like how the handspun looks in this, and it actually inspired me to want to make more handspun sweaters, particularly in this style, because it looks nice. And it sits right, and it's comfy, and it's warm. I did the 3/4 sleeve, so you can still put on mittens or fingerless mitts or what have you. I used whatever needle size was called for. I knit my size. Information's on the Ravelry page. I'm just throwing that out there. I just threw it on, so I wasn't actually intending to show anybody. We all need coffee in our lives. So how did I work this? Am I doing works in progress first? Let's do works in progress first, shall we? We can work with that. Alrighty, so things that have actually been touched this week, because it's all going to change. You know, you never know what I'm going to knit on. And I cycle through everything, so that, and I have absolutely... I went through a phase of finishitis, and that lasted about 10 seconds, and now I'm back into, I want to cast on all the things, but I'm trying really hard not to. So, stuff is getting done. This is in this bag. It's actually a hand-woven bag here. I'll close up and see if it's not going to show up as beautiful as it is, because of course this is hand-woven by a friend of mine, Pam. Hi, Pam. Who I miss greatly. She weaves the most amazing baby wraps for baby wearing. Almost makes me want to have a baby. And they're just gorgeous. Her weaving is insane. So if you're looking for a baby wrap, or you baby wear, and you want lovely... This is a scrap from one of them, I believe. And I just love the color so much, I had to have it. I believe it's String Along Fiber Arts, LLC. It's on Facebook. I'll post a link in the show notes in case anybody wants to inquire about them. They're all hand woven, and she does like these inspiration pictures, and then she shows the warp. I don't know loom speak, so I assume it's the warp or the weft. Anyway, she shows it all ready to go, and then she shows the weaving process, and it's so beautiful. It blows my mind. So in this bag, we have the Collie Wobbles by Emily Estrada. I finished one last night. I feel so plussed. I have a sock. One. Hey, that's better than nothing, right? No, I've got a lot of work to show you this week. So I'm going to put it on my hand so I can show you the detail here. So it's got this like lattice work pattern with a little bit of rib, and then it's just plain on the back, which is enjoyable. Usually I don't follow the heel flap patterns if they're different than what I'm used to, because I am very set in my heel flaps. But this one had a gusset on the bottom, so it's really hard to tilt your hand the right way. So can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. There you go. So it's got like the V right here. Oh, backwards cameras, you bug me. Right here. So that's where the gusset decreases are instead of on the sides. It fits nice. I like it. First sock is done. I'm knitting it on, I want to say ones, US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, which is my standard needle if the cuff is 64 stitches. If it changes, then I go up or down. But usually, even if they say it's for 1.5, I know I need to knit on a 1 because that's how it fits my foot. Here's the sock in a cake, because the cake was destroyed after I finished the first sock, so I recaked it. This is 3 Irish Girls Adorn sock. I want to say in the Byrne colorway. It's in some Gaelic or Celtic name thing that probably doesn't even sound like it looks, because, side story, my brother was going to name my second niece Kaylee, except he was going to spell it the Gaelic way, which looks like eyelid, and thankfully his wife stopped him. So there you have it. Gaelic words and we do not talk very often. Now you need me to pronounce a ridiculously long Indian name? I'm fine. Indian, like First Nations, Native American, whatever. You know, you want to throw some of those at me? I'm good. But throw Gaelic at me? No, not happening. Then I think I have 4 works in progress. I didn't finish my row in this, so this is going to be bad. Bad, Sadie. You do not get a cookie. You do not. You fail at cookies. I fail at cookies. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday because of the issue with the head, and subsequently antibiotics are a good thing. So that means I needed knitting. My Seashore Sharon Halloween bag, which is one of my favorite bags because, of course, it's from Seashore Sharon, who is very awesome. And it has baddies. And it's perfect for socks. I have so it has grown by like a stripe. This is my Dia de los Muertos 12 stripe by Desert Vista Dye Works in her Vista base, I want to say. I'll double check. But I'm in the middle of a row, so it's kind of like bleh, and I'm magic looping. So I've got a loop, and I got more stuff going on. It's just really, what was I doing? I don't even know. I can't even, I think I was right here. I think this is the way it's supposed to be. So I got, last time you saw it, I just started the pink strip, so clearly I didn't have to wait very long at the doctor's office. Thank you, local naval base. So I got the pink, the black stripe, the green, and I believe I'm back to the black stripe. Because there's black stripes in between everything, which is awesome. It is the Viso. Did I say Vista? It's Viso. Viso 7525 Superwash Merino Nylon. That is not going to show up. Oh, it's going to try. There you go. So I did get a little work on that done. My good mindless knitting. This is what I take when I have movies to watch, or like if we go out to watch a movie. I'm the crazy person. Yeah, I know. My eyes are all. Ugh. I'm the crazy person knitting in the movie theater because I can't just sit there and do nothing. It really bugs me. So, or if a power outage happens, because they happen here. It's actually really windy today, so if I have a power outage, this may not go up till tomorrow. Just warning you in advance, that's life on the peninsula. 6-hour power outages. Okay. What is it? I don't even know what that is. Oh. It's a piece of cardboard. I don't get it. Alrighty. What else have I been working on? Well, I keep wanting to do that, but it bugs me when I do that. If you can't tell, I cut my bangs myself, and I cut them too short. So give it a week or two, they'll be where they're supposed to be, but right now I feel like a stooge. Next up. Oh, crap, I forgot the thing. I will pause you after works in progress, because then I can just join them, right? That is what I will do. Okay, so, or no, I brought it. I don't have to pause you. Okay, good. See, I wrote notes this time, so I'm doing better. One of the works in progress from last week is a finished object, and I was very unimpressed with it. So I needed something to make me happy and not have to think too much. And in doing so, I decided that I wanted to cast on something that was pretty, and probably something that was like a shawl or so, or a poncho or a shallow or whatever. Let me bring it up on my iPad, shall I? And so I settled on the Lely by Martina Bem, which apparently I don't have. There we go. Brought up on my pad because I suck at some things, and that is the current thing I suck at. So I decided to cast on the Lely. That's what it looks like. It's a very basic garter with the cute little eyelet rib. And I thought, hey, okay, I'm going to do that because it's going to bug me otherwise. And you can tell I totally missed a spot right here, but whatever. Let's just do that. We'll get that done for today. I will look like more of a stooge. But anywho, so I decided I was going to cast on the Lely. I was going to use something nice. So I went through my stash and I picked out you have no idea how dark it actually is in this room. Yeah. I wonder if I take it out of the box, if that'll make it show up. Come here. Probably will. Of course it will. So this is the Fiber Optics yarn paint box gradient in the cashmere yarn, which is the 80-10-10 Superwash Merino cashmere nylon. 15 mini skeins, 30 yards apiece, 450 yards total, honey to fig gradient, which was a gift from my mother-in-law. And I'm super enjoying it. See if you can see. There's the colors I haven't done. I like to pull them out and wind them as I'm going because it gives me more excitement than having created the ball in the beginning. So whatever gets your rocks off works, right? So I like winding the little 30 yard things one at a time, because then it's kind of like stripy yarn to me. So I started it, I worked on it. Here it is so far. So as you can see, I started on the honey, and I'm about 7, possibly. I think I'm on 8. I think I'm on my 8th ball right now. As you can see, the opening is right here. I did the opening. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell from this, but I'd like to say Martina Bem is a very tiny lady. And I mean that, I don't mean that in a slag or anything. I just mean that from the pictures where she's wearing this particular one, it looks like it would drape like a poncho. Okay, first of all. So if I put it on me, I've got a stylish dickie. I've got an asymmetrical stylish dickie. That's what I've got. Look. It's like I've got a boob flap. It's a stylish lobster bib is what it is. Now, I'm sure if I turned it to the side, it would look very jaunty and whatnot, but let's face it, right now, it looks like I've screwed up a scarf, right? So if you're like, I'm sure it will grow a little when I block it. But the long and short of it is, she's a tiny lady. When you knit it to spec, if you've got a bust of 40 or larger, chances are it's going to look like a decorative dickie. But I like it. Having said that, I'll probably wear it as a shawl, or I'll give it to someone who's smaller than me, like my sister-in-law, who is 5 feet tall and bigger than a minute. Like, I love her, but I could crush her with my thigh, you know? Like, she's tiny. Or my mother, because my mother's tiny. Not that I would ever attempt to crush my mother with a thigh. She'd probably, like, ground me or something. So I'm on ball 8. Ball 7 did the thing. And it actually tells you, knit this many rows or until you're in the middle. So I knew at ball 7, if I hadn't hit that many rows, I needed to make the opening anyway, because 7.5 is the middle of 15, right? So I hit the rows and I was like, yay, I will have enough yarn to do the whole thing and I don't have to modify anything, which is awesome. And then I will have a very pretty stylish dickie. Or you could like put it over your head and wrap it around you, kind of like she did, but still, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's a decorative bib. So here's the ball I'm currently using. So each ball, like some of them are solid and some of them are mixed. As you can see here, okay, so here, I will use my breasts as a sounding board. So you've got your honey. The next ball had the honey and the orange, and then you had solid orange. The next ball had the orange and the brown. Then you had the solid brown. So this one is the mix between a brown and a purple to take me to the next color is going on. I like it. It's easy. It's simple. I think I would do another one, and I would do it in a worsted or an Aran weight, and then it would actually fit my size. So if you're gonna do it, because this isn't fingering weight, so if you're gonna do it and you want it to be big, I would recommend going up a couple needles and a couple yarn sizes. Having said that, I really like it. It's very fun and enjoyable. So I am probably going to do one in a worsted, or even an Aran, just because I want it to be big, right? Like I want it to flop on me like it flops on her, so I can look all decorative and stylish, like, you know, I'm a vagabond. I don't know. Hobo. I'm a hobo. So this is done on a 1.5, 2.5 millimeter needle. And I'm loving it. Don't get me wrong. I'm loving it. It's potato chippy. I get these little balls and they're interesting because I'm like a cat. It's like, ooh, another little ball, right? So I think it would be really nice to do in like a really highly variegated worsted or Aran. I don't have a lot of Aran in my stash, so chances are I would probably go with worsted just because that's what I have laying around, but I don't know. Sport weight even. Sport might make it a little bit, maybe I'll do a sport. I don't know. Just talking up my butt right now. So I have one more work in progress. Because babies happen when you're not like they keep growing and they are going to be born, and the dates kind of waffle, but the long and short of it is, you know about the approximate time that a baby's going to be born. Like, if she's due in December, she's due in December. That's my deadline. So I got the, let me show you the right side. I got the second quad finished. So the first one was the white one. The second one is this one that starts with yellow. And I have picked up and put on my provisional cast on for the third one, which starts with red. So you provisionally cast on, so right here where the yellow was, there was a provisional cast on. So I undid that and picked up those stitches, and then I provisionally cast on, sorry, provisionally cast on the other half. And then I knit the thing, and then I pull out the provisional cast on, and I previously pulled out the provisional cast on because I got confused, which is why this is on waste yarn. So I'm just going to take it off the waste yarn, and then I'll knit number 4. And then you put the edging on, and it's really cute. So the Munchkin blanket is, I want to say 45% done because I still have to do the edges all the way around and weave in ends, but the second block is completely done. It's good and mindless. The pattern actually tells you, the Munchkin by Indie Girl. The pattern actually tells you at which points to change if you want the stripes the way she shows you, and how many stitches you should have at that point. So you can always double check on it as you're going, but so it's really simple in that fashion. I can just look and be like, oh yeah, I change every 12 rows. I, make my little marks, and then I change out where I need to, and it's pretty mindless. The only annoying thing, of course, is the acrylic until you wash it. Aran acrylic is really hard on the hands. But this thing is going to last forever, and that was kind of my point. Is if it's going to go on the powwow trail, then chances are she's going to throw it on the ground and put her baby down on it. You need to have something that's going to be washable and wearable, and that's going to be nice. And acrylic, once you wash it once or twice, it softens up really nicely, so it'll work. Is that still Biba? Yeah. That's a paw. He's currently lately. That's what he's up to. So that is going to be done by December. But, of course, I'm only working on little chunks. So, like, next week, I may have the next square finished, but, like, who knows? Who knows? So, finished objects. These I finished, actually, before I started recording again. But I was like, they deserve to be on the podcast, because they are awesome. Let's see, that's my... And they were relatively recent. I did the Rose City Roller Socks, which is a free pattern. And these are for my mom, so they're small. She's got tiny little feet. Not tiny little feet, but I love knitting socks for her because her feet are not big like my husband, who has ridiculously big feet, and it feels like you're knitting forever. So these are the Rose City Rollers. They are rollers because the little cuff on the top rolls down, and then you immediately go into your heel flap. They are easy. I still have a lot left over, so I might be able to get myself a pair out of the leftovers from this. This is Rose City Rollers on US. I believe I went to the 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter needle, because it does call for a larger needle, and I was like, okay, I'll try that. This is knit out of the Bits and Bobs base by Gail's Art in the color the O colorway. Something O. It's like, ooh, O. And it's very pretty. I love this colorway. It's awesome. And the Bits and Bobs mean they're little neps everywhere, which aren't really bad. Those are your nylon and viscose that give you a little bit of extra spring. And like I said, I have enough left over that I can probably make myself a pair. So I probably will. I don't usually wear shorty socks, but I've been getting more into them. I don't know why. And this was pair 10 of my 15 in 2015. Because I am actually doing that to myself because I'm crazy. So 11 and 12 I'm working on right now. I should get 15 in 2015. It's not like I don't have enough yarn. What's up, Bob? Did you have a moment? Okay, so these are finished. They're going to my mother. She is happy about it. These I started and finished like between podcasts. And they are the Camp Out Fingerless Mitts, which is a free pattern on Rav. And the story behind these is I was missing Christy Knitswear who is all in Minnesota, and before I left, she gifted me some gorgeous handspun. It was 3-ply bulky. I don't think it was actually bulky. I think it was Erin, just saying. But it was 3-ply. It was very gorgeous by Wool Gatherings, and she said, "I want you to knit a pair of fingerless mitts so that you'll always think of me when your hands are cold." So I did. I knit a pair of fingerless mitts. So they Camp Out fingerless mitts. They took like an evening because you knit them on 4.5 millimeter needles. They're super easy. There's a provisional cast on, which you do right here. Then you can either 3 needle or do a Kitchener it together, and I Kitchenered them. And then you just knit, like you add thumb gusset stitches. It's a free pattern. So you add some stitches for your thumb, you decrease them pretty fast, and then you just knit solid. The only difference is I didn't want them to roll up, so I added some garter ridges, so purl knit, and then I used the surprisingly stretchy bind off, I think. Magical bind off, whatever. You know the one. And then you watch Kat Bordy do it, and she's crazy, and I love her. So they took like 2 seconds. They take less. The skein I had 162 yards, and I've got a little ball like that big. So I think it takes 100 to 150. It all depends. And I made mine longer, of course. But now I will always think of her, and I will always be warm. I miss my people. Miss my Thursday night knitting. Tear. Okay. Now I need a sip of coffee because we're going to get into my if you remember last week, I was working on the Trade Winds Ponchette, which I said, I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish this with the amount of yarn, and that's going to bug me. I couldn't finish it with the amount of yarn, and it did bug me. So here it is. I haven't blocked it yet. Here it is in all of its glory. It does need to be blocked. I actually had to figure out the math for the bottom, and it ended up that I either had to have not enough yarn to finish the second repeat, which still would have been several repeats shy, or I had to end it there. So I ended it there, so there's only a little bit of the last color. I ended up being 3 repeats shy of finishing. 3. This is not a matter of ever like, you know, oh crap, I had to pull out a couple rows and then do the bind off, which is a really weird bind off where there's this casting on and binding off, so you have the little nipple things at the bottom. And it was quick and easy. The pattern itself isn't horrible. What's horrible to me is that I paid so much money, and I purposely asked the person, is this going to make this the medium large size? Because I am not a small medium. And I was told yes. I was told yes. Therein lay the rub. I would not have bought it. I would not have paid that much money because I am a stickler about people who don't make stuff for big people. Okay? I am that person. There are things I will not knit just because they don't go up high enough. There are, like, Okay, there's some dyers who do the sweater size skein. They think that it's an actual sweater size. It is not a sweater size, okay? If I look at your skein and I think I need at least 3 of those or I need at least 2 of those to make a sweater, then it's not a sweater size skein. I will not waste time on that. If you're going to make something and I look at it and I think I would love to knit that, but then it goes up to like 2 below my size and it doesn't go up higher, I'm like, screw you. And it's just not going to happen, okay? There are several dyers and several designers that I won't touch because of those issues. And I'm not going to put them on blast because that's rude. Just know that if you're a dyer or a designer, you need to think about everybody, okay? If I was going to make a kit, and I have made kits, you want to make sure your yardage is there and maybe give a little more. You don't know how much someone's going to need. Give as much as you can. Make sure you properly label this. If you're making a design, make sure it goes up high enough or instruct them how to expand the pattern. Okay? It's not, if you're already doing the math for a sweater or for something like this, if you're already doing the math, just keep going, okay? It doesn't hurt you to do a few exercises. So, burnt my butt. So, I look on the little thing and it's an info address, which pisses me off. So, I'm like, no. So, I go to Rav, because I'm like, I'm sure this is going to be on Rav. Found the designer, dyer, whatever. It's all the same person. She's on Ravelry. I sent her a message. I said, listen, right now I'm 4 repeats shy. I'm starting my last skein of the color set. It's this color set. I purchased it at Shepherd's Harvest in Minnesota this year. So, like, that's only a couple months. Shepherd's Harvest is what? May, June, July, August, September. 4 months ago I purchased this. I asked the person, I don't know if the person was you or if it was someone manning your booth. I asked the person if this would knit the medium large. I was assured this would knit the medium large. And I got a response back that was, well, people have been able to finish the medium large, but just barely. Then you need to put bigger put-ups in your thing if you're telling people you can knit the medium large. And then she's like, that colorway is discontinued. If you send me a picture, I could look and see if there's any leftovers laying around and send you some. Leftovers, you're not going to do another 4 repeats, okay? It's just not. So I just completely gave up. And I was very PO'd because, and I tried it on and then it rolled up like the dickens. Now I've been assured by someone else who had the exact same problem as me that it does block out and you can wear it. But at this point, I am so not impressed with it. It's like, yes, the colors are pretty. Yes, I was looking forward to having this poncho I could wear and drape and be all wonderful and everything. But now, I don't know. I'm going to block it, see how that works. But man, I was not impressed. I was not impressed at all. Because I feel like I was falsely advertised to. And maybe I'm just an asshole. Maybe that's my thing. Maybe I expected more from the designer or the dyer in regards to this major issue. So I contacted them. I said, and then I responded to that and I said, you know what, I'll just figure it out. I will, I'm not taking a picture, sending it to you so you can send me leftovers. Whatever. I will figure out the math and see how many repeats I have and how many I have to end before and blah, blah, blah. I'll figure this out on my own. But in future, if you're going to advertise this, please put more yardage in your put-ups or inform people that they have just barely been able to make it. Okay? That would change a lot. There's a lot I could have changed. I could have changed and augmented very easily where on the cast on here it says to knit 3 inches. So you knit a portion before you start increasing, before you start doing anything, before there's actual pattern. I would have cut that out, and I would have had more yardage for the bottom. That is one thing I would have done. There are many things I could have done to make this work if I had known in advance. But I didn't know in advance, and that's what bugs me. I'm a control freak. You don't... This is why I don't do mystery knit-alongs. Okay, now that I've had that moment, a little bit of blame. I have recently started watching podcasts again. I stopped for a long time because I felt bad. Every time I watched one, I was like, why am I not podcasting? So I just stopped. So I'm catching up on some of them again, and it only took about 3 episodes of Round the Twist for me to pick this up again. You may remember it. I stopped doing it in February, at the end of February, because I finished February, and I remember getting March, and I hadn't done anything. And I've got the bottom almost done. It's done. The outline is completely done all the way around this side to, I even put in the 2014. So I've got this side yet to do, and I started back. Because I need another craft, like I need a hole in the head. I also have to finish a quilt for my brother by December. And the quilt is currently living up here. It's a t-shirt quilt. It's all Grateful Dead. It's going to get done. T-shirt quilts are easy. But learning my space, getting my stuff set up is whatever. You don't care. You don't. Well, you might care. You'll see it later on. I will definitely post pictures and show you when I'm doing it. But right now, it'll come out shortly because I need to get working on it. So I had stopped right there. I had done February. This was done, and that was it. So I did March. I did the top one, and I did the little pink stuff, and then I started doing the cloud there. So I have January and February done. I may get this done by the end of next year. Just saying. But it's fun, and it was a change of pace, and I think I really needed it just because I was burnt out on a bunch of other stuff. And that's the way it goes. Because I was thinking about spinning, but then I was like, then I gotta pick something, blah, blah, blah. I had a moment. And I had been watching the last couple episodes for Round the Twist, and I was like, I need to pick that up again, because I am very suggestive as a human being. Show me something 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, yes, I am in it. I am in. Sign me up. Give me the t-shirt. I'm there. As a human being, I am very, very susceptible to that, and I know about that, which is why commercials. I hate commercials. Especially American commercials are very different from Canadian commercials, but American commercials suck, okay? Y'all got me thinking I got all kinds of problems that I don't actually have. I exist in a paranoid state. And then I switched to the CBC because I can here, and it's like Tim Hortons, recycle your various recyclables. You know, it's Canadian commercials, and I miss them so much. I would like to point out that there is a Ravelry group, and that is where I am posting when these go up. I will probably Instagram it as well, because that's how I started doing everything. I'll Instagram that it is up. It is going up on the blog and on YouTube, and I will post a Rav about it. I have heard about Podcast Garden. I'm going to look into it. Not 100% sure. You're going to have to give me some time, because I'm going to have to go back to Canada in early December to help out with some stuff that I'm not really comfortable discussing on here. But subsequently, because I'm going back to Canada, and I haven't been back in a year or so because I couldn't go back when the hubby was around. It's been a while. I think I went back in like I was there once while the hubby was gone. So I'm going back. I need to finish that quilt. A friend, I promised I would do him a Nintendo / a Pokemon themed needlepoint, which I'm going to try to do. It's actually pretty easy. I ran it through Micro Revolt, so I should be able to just do that one in a weekend. That quilt's going to take for bloody ever. And I think that's all I really have to finish immediately. But I have work, I have things, and I want to get back to dyeing, and so I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate everything. It'll take me a while. It's going to be crazy for the next little bit. So I will look into Podcast Garden. I don't know when. Probably not. Don't expect it to be set up until the new year, because right now there's just so much going on in my life, and while I'm fine with all that, and I'm getting the appropriate amount of balance back, which is like, what I need to be able to do this. I'm getting the balance back, but I'm just not ready to start expanding into that avenue yet, because it's unknown territory, and yeah. It's enough rambling about Podcast Garden. Join the Ravelry group. If you follow me on Instagram, you may note I have taken up the hobby of bento boxes. It's not actually a hobby. If you don't know what bento boxes are, they're a Japanese thing where you make up like cute little lunches, and it both saves money and, lets the hubby know that I'm thinking about him during the day. So I make him these the last couple have been really lazy because I'm not 100% right now, but I do tend to go a little all out on the bento boxes. They're fun to make. So if you like looking at that kind of stuff, add me on Instagram. I believe I'm Sadie Ruin on Instagram. I don't know who Slut for Books is, but I love her name. I don't know you, but I love your name. Slut for Books. I am Sadie Ruin on Instagram. I usually just Instagram, and then that goes to Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I don't remember what my Twitter is. I think it's Sadie Ruin there too. I'm Blue Ruin on Ravelry, and I don't plurk anymore, so I'm sorry. Feel free to follow me there. And this is more than long enough now that you've seen everything that's going on in my life. Currently, for this week anyway. There will be more next week, and more the week after. If you want to look at bento boxes, feel free to add me on Instagram. I had to lock it up because if you're a military spouse, we all got kind of told that we should lock up our stuff after like that big whole scare thing, and I was by myself, so I figured whatever, I'll lock it up. So, add me and I'll add you right back, as long as you're not a puppet or a sock account. It's just so, it's a level of personal security I need to be adding, that's all. So feel free to add me on Instagram. Just because it's locked doesn't mean I won't add you back. And that's all I've got. That's all I've got. So I'm going to let you go. I'll talk to you next week. I hope everyone has a great week. Bye.